This conference will now be recorded.
We'll begin with the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome everybody to the special meeting, Marion County Commission on June 8th. The purpose of the special meeting was to discuss a possible motor grader purchase. And we have Bryce here with us to give us some information. Again, this was short notice, but it's an opportunity.
Got some copies of this, you guys want to look at it. I appreciate you guys getting together for this as well. This kind of popped up short notice because we were actually looking at what the value of our white tractor, the old white tractor we were getting rid of, see what it was worth, because there was a tractor that come up for sale almost identical to it. Well, then I noticed this, and I thought, well, that's something we definitely need to look at. Obviously, if you follow along, it's a 2020 Caterpillar 140 all-wheel drive, identical to the ones we just got. It's out in Cheyenne Wells, Colorado, which would be about 320 miles from here. So we'd have the cost of getting it back, whether we went and got it or whether we had it shipped, whatever else. I called the numbers that are listed on here. I got an email from the county commissioner saying that there was nothing wrong with it. They had purchased 12 of these at one time, and this was a rotational Yes, for eastern Colorado, I was shocked. But anyway, that they were getting rid of, they were starting their replacement program for this. Now, again, that's what he said. The county administrator, I talked to her, and she said that she was not aware of anything other than that it was involved in an accident where he was getting ready to turn off of a major county road or a highway, and a guy tried to pass him and hit the left side of it. That's all been fixed, and without really, I mean, if you go through all the pictures, there's no obvious problems. Let's put it that way. I've contacted the cat salesman as well, and he said, you know, there's really nothing else you could look at as well unless there would be something internal. I mean, it's buyer beware. You're going by the information you have. With that being said, one of the things we looked at is obviously the price is still fairly low. I just checked right before I come up, and it's still only at $151,500. Talking with the Caterpillar salesman and Tom, as well as myself, you know, we look at the fact is if we could get that, you know, even under the $200,000 mark or under the $180,000 mark, we still feel comfortable that even if there was something else that come up, we would still be reasonable shape. Put that in comparison to the 16 and 17 used ones we got. With this one here only has, well, let's put it this way, it's noted at 750 hours. From what I understand, it's very difficult to modify. I mean, it's almost impossible. That's all handled through the computer. They basically would have to swap out an ECM or something like that. But even then, between 2020 and now, it'd be pretty tough to put lots and lots of hours on there that wasn't addressed. So anyway, that's what we were looking at. We're probably looking at $2,000 to get it back if we transportation. But again, I think it's something to look at. Now, what that magic number would be, you know, is it 180,000? Is it 200,000? But even if we got it at 200,000 and we had to put a motor overall in or whatever else, we'd still be looking at 250,000, and we'd still be at the same price we were for those used ones we got to the local cat dealer.
What did we pay for those?
$258,000 and $265,000.
Okay.
And what's a new one now?
Well, if the last price I knew it was like $414,000, and I mean that's really difficult to justify. So anyway, again, buyer beware. Even if you went out and looked at it, it all looks good and everything else, you just never know. It's like a used car.
What'd you get hit on the left side? I mean, the blade, the tire?
Didn't say.
Okay.
Nobody really said, and obviously the other thing is, they're getting rid of it. He said for the replacement program, the other reason why they're getting rid of them is because they have more equipment than operators. And they said this is
Don't we all?
one way to, this is one of their nicer machines that they can turn around and get money in.
Well, they can probably get more than what they paid for it.
Could have been. I don't know.
Prices.
I guess it just blows my mind that they could want 12 of these at one time.
But it was the perfect time to buy them.
I'm guessing. Yep. So
Yeah, that's beside the point. I guess the thought was bringing it up to the commission as an opportunity for an investment. Jonah, would you have any comments?
Yeah, so I made some phone calls. I know a lot of the people in Cheyenne Wells, being a former graduate. Jim Brown is a county road super. He basically reaffirmed everything Bryce said. If the hours are correct, there's nothing wrong with it. They're trading them out. And I talked to a few other people, and it validates everything. They've had a bunch of people quit for the county, so they don't have enough operators. It doesn't sound like there's anything, and I asked him to be honest with me, being that I am from that area, so. And that's about it.
And isn't that area mainly sand? I mean, what type of?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, lots. I mean, mainly all it is sand.
Right.
And I've been stuck on them roads plenty of times.
Well, I mean, Bryce made a comment on some of the pictures. There's hardly even paint or off a lot of the equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to what a lot of we do in Marion County, the material we have to move.
The river looks good on it.
Yeah.
well, like I said, all the way around. Even if you look at like I said, there's a bunch of pictures. If you look at the blade behind where the cutting edge is bolted up to, compared to the moldboard, there's still yellow paint in there. So it. Unless they repainted that, I mean, it's strange. But anyway, so.
It looks like an opportunity. Again, you never know what's going to happen in 50 minutes, what the final bid will be. But as an opportunity, it seemed like something we should at least be prepared, figure a number that we're comfortable with, and at least go to that number. If it goes higher, that's fine. If it goes less, then.
How you gonna pay for it?
Well, that's the big question. And
I think we've got enough lease payments on it right now.
Has anybody looked to see whether we're gonna, with all of our payments, we're gonna be able to meet our payments?
well, and ultimately that's what it comes down to. I wouldn't have
I mean, if
addressed
we don't
this.
have it in special equipment fund, I'm not in favor of it. We just got 4.
Yeah.
That's gonna be it.
And I just talked to one of the operators, and the new ones, they're so highly technical, it's taken them a long time to learn them. The technology is so much greater. And, we stuck the guys in there, and it's a big time learning curve is what he told me.
Yeah.
Agree with that. One of them's only got 32 hours to still in the shop.
Yeah, that's been quite a deal. According to what I found out about that, there was some sort of spindle that was
Probably.
manufactured incorrectly that placed extra pressure on the bearing that blew the seal, and so they replaced that, not knowing that the spindle was the wrong length or whatever else, and so it did it again. So they just got a whole new hub, and I mean, granted, they're taking care of everything else, but yeah.
Still down.
Yeah, so,
Rumor is it's the operator down there. He's catching that quick.
Yeah.
32 hours, you can't drive it.
Yeah. But ultimately, yes, that's what it comes down to. The fact is that, that money is,
Would you have equipment to sell? I mean, you bring this
Well,
one in, you get rid of another one.
yeah, would, but I mean, would it justify, this kind of money? No. We did get the money back from the Purple Wave, but we had talked about putting that towards the tractor or the other lease payments. So.
You got other stuff coming up. You want that new backhoe? One of these days, we're gonna have to replace a truck, I'm sure. I mean, just looking down the road, we're gonna have some needs in the next year.
Well, the reason why I felt so good about the two coming in, those other two, was because we wasn't loaded so much with payments. I mean, I knew it was
Sure.
gonna be
Sure.
fixing it up. And I think this is a great find. I think it's a great piece of equipment, probably. It's just whether we can find the money to pay for it. That's what it comes down to.
Well, I guess part of it too would be setting a price. That,
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if you're getting a $275,000 machine for $200,000, you should be able to put a little bit toward the savings on your interest. And then again, how much you're gonna get for equipment you're swapping out to bring it down.
Are
But
you-
it's an opportunity, that's all I'm bringing forward is an opportunity.
Are you down to, you said 16? I thought we was going down to.
Yeah, we haven't got any more lined up, but yeah,
Okay.
we were still planning to get rid of some more.
Okay. 'Cause I know you need something for spare, I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue that, but not 3 and 4.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna see on the lease purchases going forward, it's gonna surprise you how high they are.
Interest going up?
Because all the lenders are taking for granted that internal rates, they're already trying to set them for a year from now.
Sure.
So they might be doubled what we paid the last time. Probably would be doubled.
You gotta, if you know that's happening, you gotta just take a chance that that's what it's gonna be. I mean, you gotta say it's gonna be. If you get it less than that, then.
Yeah. I'd say if our last one was 3, the next one's gonna be 6.
Jonah, you have a comment?
I'd say it's all just same thoughts. Just I don't know. I mean, it's if this price at or below what we paid for the 17, I mean,
It's below.
it's almost foolish not to grab it. But I don't know how we pay for it.
Yeah, it's a 155, 350 now. With 47 minutes.
And counting.
Yes. Now they may extend it a little bit.
It may go crazy in the last 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Well, and again, that's the whole thing. From we were just talking, we were shocked that it was as low as it was, that it hadn't gone up more yet, knowing that it should be. I mean, honestly, this machine should be up in the $250,000 range or whatever else, but it's not.
But everybody's got machines for the summer projects already.
Well,
Construction companies are all,
yeah, but construction companies would be getting new ones. These would go to other people, but the biggest problem that we face and they face is just trying to get other machines. So
get a machine.
yeah. So if you have to wait so long, but
You got 2 or 3 that you put on the auction and
yeah.
pay for half of it.
Jonah, did you have a number in mind that you think would be appropriate?
I don't know. The last one was what? The 17 we gave 270. And this one's less hours.
Yeah, one of them was 258 and one was 265 of the 2 used ones we got.
Yeah. And so it's 3 years newer. It's 1,300 hours less. I don't know, somewhere around the 285, 290.
What it'd be worth?
It'd be worth.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's always tough to say. I mean, you look at what the price of new ones are, that's probably realistic, but, being used again,
Like say a price of 201, something like that. We wouldn't want to go full retail.
Right, that's what, first we were just kind of establishing a value, and then our next step then is what we would actually
Everybody's
bid.
looking at 200, we went 201.
Okay, Tina has.
In 2023, special equipment needs to fund $328,250 in payments. $328,250. At the end of 2021, we have $583,556 in there. We'll have 3 scheduled transfers from Road and Bridge this year in the amount of $400,000. So we should have $983,556 in resources to be able to work with in that fund, minus the $328,500 in current payments. But that means, I mean, obviously that's to fund whatever purchases
Right.
you need for next year.
Right.
And that backhoe's gonna cost you, what?
Probably 125 to 130, I'm being told.
But these payments that I told you, that $328,250 includes the 2 new lease purchases for the
Okay.
4 motor graders we bought.
Okay. So we would be able to fund it out of special equipment.
Well, depending on what else you wanna buy.
Fund it out of special equipment, but you're still gonna finance it.
Yeah. Well, would you?
We haven't designated that 100,000 we just got in yet, to whether it goes back and pays any of those. The other day when I was looking, the first 2 or 3 I was thinking we could wipe off with 100,000.
Yeah, but rather than pay off one at a lower interest rate, why not put
Well-
it toward a new purchase that's a higher interest rate?
Well, and I'm sort of agree, but we could use that 100,000.
Correct. So if
For
you-
that.
You wanna keep the lowest ones as long as you
Yeah,
can.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
You're never gonna get that again.
Right,
Air
the
money.
other day, without hearing what Kent said today, I was looking at it going the other way,
Yeah,
but,
but rather than, so if we put that 100,000 toward it, if you say you bid 200, then you bring it down to 100 or 150, whatever commission decides they want to bid. And then not have to go through and finance it.
not go through.
I'm just throwing that out there. Unless you want to finance this one and save the money for the next purchase and then do it in direct purchase. Just throwing out options.
With our bond sale and everything happening, it might be nice not to finance something else right
Yeah.
now.
Fund this one direct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get back to a bidding number then. What's the commission feel for a number?
250 high.
Jonah, I see you have your mic on.
I just think whatever you think it's worth, you set that as your max bid. If it comes in less, you got a deal.
So you would be thinking more 285?
Yeah, somewhere in there, because it's going to climb in the next, I don't know, 25 minutes. You'll start seeing it jump.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly.
It's already up 155 now. I just looked.
Yep.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't see it jumping up in that 250 range unless people really get aggressive in the end. But, you know, you just never know.
How about, I'm just gonna take.
I just figure you put down what you're max willing to spend and
Yeah.
I'll see where it falls.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the board. I've got Jonah at 285. Commissioner Dalkey,
275.
okay. Commissioner Crowfoot,
250.
okay. Commissioner Becker,
0.
okay. Since you went 0, I'm gonna go 275. If our mathematician could ever choose that for us.
With that 275, I'm thinking at least you add the 100,000 we just got in, it goes back towards it.
Yes.
So how many are you getting rid of if you buy this?
There's not a meeting.
Well, that's what we're looking at. We'll have, give us 5 extras, so we can get rid of 3 or 4.
I mean, I think that plan needs to be taken care of before we buy. we know what we're getting rid of, we can take a guess at what we're gonna get, we can look at what we're gonna buy.
Yeah, so then we pass this up, we pay $414.
Well, it's very
So
possible.
if I take the 275, 275, 250, and 285 total and divide that by 5, that's 217
Okay.
average. And then also in special equipment, we have to fund this year's payments. So if we estimate that at 300, that still leaves about 350, not including proceeds from prior sales.
Okay.
So, motion on the.
I'd make a motion to set it not to exceed guaranteed maximum at 275,000.
And funding to come from special equipment?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion to put in a not to exceed of 275 with the funds to come, if we get the bid, the funds come from special equipment. I'll second the motion
And that is without financing.
without financing. Is that okay, Jonah, without financing?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we could always go back and finance it later. I mean, I just don't want to miss out the deal.
Yep, I agree. Any other discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion carried 4-1. We put in a not to exceed of 275. Don't just go down and put it in right now.
No.
And anything we say goes into,
Have you bid yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm totally waiting on that, so,
You have to register the bid and everything?
yeah, I've got all that done, ready to
Okay.
go, so. Okay, well, I'm guessing there'll probably be 11-ish before we hear anything, so, okay.
very good, I appreciate it.
And well, like I said, and I appreciate you guys getting together, like I said, we ran across this yesterday and tried to make as much due diligence in our, what we could, so.
Like Jonah said, if it does come to pass, that's an asset, much higher value than what we're paying. And longevity, it fits into the rotation.
Yep.
You've got the 21s, and you've got the 20, and you've got the 17 and 16.
Yep.
And should be able to get rid of some other equipment. Should be in good shape.
I guess what I'd like to see, Bryce, is that all of our graders give a satisfaction rate on them, what kind of time frame we're looking at, the rest of them. Look at our trucks, show us the mileage, what kind of grade you give them, or somewhere, because Kent's right, we haven't bought trucks.
Oh, yeah.
And we sat here for 3 or 4 years as a commission and didn't want to buy nothing but used highway trucks.
Right.
And we know what that is.
Yep. Yep.
Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not worth a hoot.
Yep, understand.
So-
It's asset management, no doubt about it.
So, bring that to us, it don't have to be the next meeting, but just within a reasonable time.
Good.
Very good.
Sounds good.
Anything
So
else?
what about the training on the new ones? You can't, I mean,
Training comes down to the fact is they can show you all you want to, but you really
well,
just
you
gotta
gotta,
get in
yeah, I
there
know.
and do it.
You have to go and make your own
I'm
mistakes.
following up with those guys. You know, the one that Ken's talking about, it's new to him, but I have no doubt that he will continue to pick that up. It's like anything else, the technology is getting more and more all the time.
Yeah.
And so,
Was you here?
We also need to make sure we get the right kind of training.
yeah.
We haven't had CAT out now for what, 3-4 years.
That was my question.
Yeah,
It's gonna be.
and I'm not saying it has to be CAT, but somebody professional.
Yeah.
We actually sent some guys up to a class in Manhattan, our newer guys, for maintenance of roads and whatever else, going through that. That guy is available to come out. We did not get it scheduled this spring. We're going to, but yeah, he can come out and,
He is with CAT?
no, he's actually through LTAP.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
What my question to you is, has he run
Yes.
these new ones?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, because no use of having somebody here
Yep,
that hadn't run them,
sure,
because
sure.
I can remember the first time we had one with the fingertip controls, the person in your job, the position you're sitting in, put it over a curb by going down the road.
Yep. Yep.
So, and just by touching the wrong button.
Sure. Sure,
And,
yep. That's.
Pretty easily done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, we've talked about that. We just didn't get him here this spring, but they did go to the class. And every one of them, even the ones that've been around for a little while, they said they learned something as well.
Okay.
Good.
So-
Yeah, training's good.
Yeah,
Well, I know that training was out there that even the older operators liked it.
yeah.
So,
And you know, it's not as though that both of our CAT representatives we've had here have said, man, whatever you tell us what you want for training and we'll come and do it. So they're all about that as well, so.
would this make the 5th purchase in this year?
What?
Would this make the 5th purchase? Two used ones,
If
two
you
new
buy
ones?
this one, that's your 5th.
Okay, so we're getting real close to 50% of our fleet.
I would,
And that's,
I would suggest though, if this is purchased, you know, yeah, even though we have special equipment money,
Yeah,
consider the 6% lease against probably gonna be a 10% lease in 6 months, which is not very affordable.
sure. Yeah,
And also, if there's something else, we need to buy a truck or something, I'd find out what we need in the next 90 days.
yeah,
It's gonna get ugly.
yeah. Understand. So.
All right, very
Okay.
good. We'll let you
All
get
right.
down to it. And,
Thanks.
Anything else from the commission? If not, I move to adjourn.
Second?
Second, Commissioner Garing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Thank you all very much. We'll see you tomorrow at 10:30.
Aye.
Is it? It's not off yet.